Yep, that's what happened. Okay. I'm getting a million comments about no audio, Seth. I'm like, it's not live, bro. You guys should have audio now. Whoa, is it blowing up? Hold on. All this setup. All right, no audio? All right, what you guys don't know is they all clapped for me when I started. I just want you to know I had support here. I want you, hey, thank you so much. All right. Yeah, all these people, all right? All these people. All right, I'm gonna do the spiel over again. I apologize, guys. We're only 4 minutes deep. If you're watching this on playback, I appreciate you with your patience. Number one, if you're in the chat, if you have a question, type all Q's so that I can see the question. If there's a camera angle that is not working out, type all asterisks so I can switch camera angles. Everything else I'm not gonna keep watching on because I'm switching, I'm talking, I'm shooting, I'm dealing with her, right? And, oh, I gotta do another high five for Kate. I activated her live now. So basically what we're gonna do tonight is I developed a system to go faster because when you develop skills to go faster and you're doing less wasted frames, more looks per session, you're giving more to your client, but also I cannot stress enough, you're getting as much out of it as they are. Because once we go into the later setups, you're gonna be like, got it. And those setups are gonna be absorbed by you because you got so much trust in your client, you can go for it, okay? Now, we always talk about, I feel like I'm so out of whack now, having to repeat myself. I called in Kate because I used her with the Nikon Z5 II video as a model. And when I threw light at her, I just kept on going nuts with it, right? I was like, I could do 1,000 things, but you only get about maybe an hour to do those videos. So I was like, I got to get her back in here. I got all these things I wanted to do. And we're going to do that tonight, okay? For the Z5 II video, what I did was something along the lines of this. Of course, this isn't working either because Seth doesn't get to have a happy ending. There we go. So this was, if you watched my last stream, we did edge mask, okay? I'm not gonna go into that tonight. You can watch my stream last time about that. But you can actually see that I am in her eye here, super sharp, but it's a very wall of light look, very ring light look, but is a look that could easily stand out in a headshot scenario or for Kate herself on her media because she's always doing more fashion-y type stuff, full body length stuff. This is no denying it. I am looking at Kate, right? So I was flying through that. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Look how many frames I'm going through here though. I mean, we're 20 deep. And then, oh, I didn't even take the, man, I'm having a real rough one here, guys. Hold on. Z5 II, because I threw them in a folder that doesn't exist anymore, does it? All right. Here we go. So what ended up happening was we went into this. So we went from a very flat wall of light look to Kate being undeniable. We get Kate, we're locked in the eyes of Kate. Kate's got that, what I called, I'm sorry for saying this in the video, I said she's got a very drastic style, but I do feel like she does have this you cannot look away kind of feel to her, right? We went from that flatter, safe shot, boom, right away. Rim lights, boom, sculpt her out. How deep is that ocular bone? What are we looking at? Eye sockets. Look at the shape of the lips, no longer flattened out. Where's that cheekbone? How high is that cheekbone? What are we doing, right? We're getting into like Angelina Jolie and cyberpunk looks here, right? Really, really fast. What if I told you it was the same light? Right? No. I changed lighting, didn't change light. So you can see how drastic this can get, right? And then when I knock out 2 looks, I start changing it up again and I get this more after school special look, I call it, right? So we just fly through it and we go right back to that look if I don't felt it worked anymore, right? We can just keep going, right? So the moral of the story is I try to give them so much. I don't want to waste anyone's time. The second you start looking like you're fumbling, they lose confidence. They lose confidence, you lose confidence. You start spiraling. Then you get into what I call quicksand. And I get into a zone where I call it gear drunk. I literally have so much stuff that I'm like, I don't know where to start. And the best place to start is throw a light at them if you don't know where to go, okay? If you start in the middle range, meaning I'm not doing a 5-foot octa, I'm not doing a 1-inch box, 3-foot, 4-foot octa, right? We just get a chance to look at what someone looks like from a 3-dimensional space into 2D. And that alone is the best you can do for a starting point because you understand what you're working with, who you're working with, okay? Of course, I had to call in the, the queen of emo from the Lower East Side. And I always think about her style and her fashion and stuff. And she's always got black on black with more black and black. And then there's like this snap of color with her somewhere, right? And this is just what I know of Kate, right? Man, you look like I'm about to hurt you right now. What is this? I thought we've been through so much. I'm gonna set up multiple lights for this setup. For those of you online that are going to yell at me like, well, what if I only have? Then you're not doing a multiple light setup, okay? Mwah. There's reasons for equipment sometimes. There is. We've done endless single light demos in here, and I can show you how to exploit, as I call it, a single light or do most with less. But this is not that demo. This demo is I'm making decisions, and those decisions are not about what's happening here, but where it can go from there. Meaning I put a light over here, what else can I do with that light from there? So I called this, what do I call this, Chad? Evolve some stupid thing, right? You're evolving the portrait because you're going from what I call the safe shot. Clean. You are showing that you're able to get a shot. Sharp. It can work for things. She can use it for whatever. You got the clean referential shot. Or in commercial land, the shot that gets the art director off your back for a second. You got something in the can, right? We're good. You shot it. And then you get nervous and shoot like 40 more thinking that somehow those photos will disappear, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Don't. Take those 40 frames you're gonna shoot and evolve it. So shot 1, clean, referential, bang, right? Shot 2, fast change up of something you've already done before that you're not guessing will work, you know will work because you've used it before and in the same situation. Same type of person, same vibe, same look, same atmosphere, same energy coming off that frame, right? So we're not making a guess. Frame 3, throw something against the wall, see if it sticks. And guess what? If it sticks, you've got frame 2 for a future shoot. And that's why I say you get more out of this sometimes than the client. And after 25 years of killing myself in this industry, my Rolodex gets confusing sometimes, but I have to edit myself down to those 3. And if I got time, if I got her confidence, let's go for 4, let's go for 5. What can I do with this? What can I do with that? But we're not saying what can we, we're making educated decisions because light is predictable. This is a science as much as it's a feel. The feel is what you're gonna get off of the science. Okay, the exposure is correct. The lighting is scientifically correct. Does it feel like it's the right light? We always talk about intent. You have to have intent before you start shooting. What am I going for? I already know what this woman looks like. Believe me. I have shot 8 million frames of her from a prototype camera. There are 120 selected frames from that shoot. How big was that Dropbox? Massive, thank you. I killed her computer, and that's what I want to do. Because she might like one this year, and next year she'll make, actually this one, and I know we should edit down and be like, no, this is the frame. I'm not that guy. If any of you follow my Instagram, I don't even edit down my photos anymore. I just put them all in a reel and go, here, knock yourself out. Here's every shot I took. What that says though, is I didn't waste any frames. You're seeing an inundated amount of usable frames. It says something about you. It says something about the value to a client. It says something to someone who's looking to come to your studio and burn their time with you. They will walk out of there with a lot. And sometimes the frames you gave them don't work until they crop them for their website or use it for an avatar for LinkedIn. Like they find out the use. So that's kind of where I come from. Does that make sense, that philosophy? Does that make sense? All right. How many of you have been to my demos before? Okay, so we know that I don't do well with quiet people and I get anxious and freak out. So on the count of 3, we're all gonna scream together and break this awkward ice, Jen, okay? 1, 2, 3, scream. Ah! I will walk out of here, I don't care. This has already been trashed from bad audio. I got nothing to lose here, guys. 1, 2, 3, scream! Do you feel better? Okay, so now future reference, if you have a question, yell at me. I don't do well with organization. Ask the producer here, she hates it, okay? But I'm gonna start off with exactly what I was saying, a 4-foot octave. One thing I wanna do with Kate when we were shooting was I kept thinking about black and white. I wanted to go into black and white. I did a couple of black and white frames, but like time's moving and I'm doing a video and you have to decide what the shot is. When I shot with Kate, our shot was for that camera. I was just trying to get shots from that camera that work. I wasn't shooting for Kate. So the selfishness has to go out the window. I got to think, who's going to watch this video? Why are they watching this video? And what can I get them to be a successful video? Not that I don't like doing the new product videos, but boy, they can just like crush you. And they're like, no, it's got, show the thing with the setting you'll never use. Like, you know? All right. So I'm gonna start with a 4-foot Profoto Octa. This is a white interior. I often use the silver one. I'm using the white because it's here, okay? It's also a safe bet, all right? I'm gonna set this up on group A. Any questions before I get going? Are we good so far? All right. Does this process make sense to you guys? Okay. All right, I'm gonna set this in group A, although I probably did this on another light like an idiot. All right, let me get you, I'm running out of space real quick. I'm gonna throw this chair somewhere else. Is that cool? Okay. Sorry guys, I gotta make a little bit of room. As Ab Cisse calls this is like tiny desk. So we're shooting tiny desk today, all right? But how many of you have tight spaces you shoot in? You can make a lot happen in a tight space. So we're gonna throw this up here, but before I even throw a light at Kate, what's the first frame I gotta do? What's the first frame? Black frame. Why am I doing a black frame? Ambient light. We want to shut out all the light in the space from the exposure I'm creating so that I know all the light I'm recording is the light I'm creating. Takes out all the variable. I'm making that light. If the frame's black, any light I add will not make it black, right? So we're gonna do that. I don't know why I just set this monster up, but because I'm out of whack, because I started this demo off with no audio. And you know what's funny is like I have to tech everybody else's demo. So I usually think of this as like I'm a final boss coming down from a tower to reclaim the event space. And here I am messing up my own audio. All right, so I'm gonna start off at f8 ISO 100, 200th of a second. Why? Well, 200 second, flash sync. I don't really care about the shutter speed. ISO 100, cleanest in its normal range. 100, low noise, great. F8, why? I'm so glad you asked, you're really good. I'm not caring about depth of field here. I'm not here to shoot just the corneas of her eyes and get her nostrils maybe in focus. This is not the shot. There's so much going on with Kate. I want it. I want this amazing hair. I want everything. I want all of it. And no matter what, something will be out of focus anyway, right? And also that background, not exactly bokeh. I know you guys are addicted to it. I know, oh, I spent so much money on my 1 point. Yeah. Shut up, all right? I'm also gonna be shooting with a 24-120 f4 lens. That is a glorified kit lens if you think about it. It comes as a kit with most cameras with Nikon. f4, not 2.8, not 1 point blah, blah, blah. And it's to prove a point. Number one, I just want to say, I probably shot more covers in my career with this lens in 3 different versions they've made it than any other lens. And the second I pull it out around snobs, oh, I love it. Oh my, oh, I don't care what, I don't care what you use. I don't care what you use. I just don't care. All right, so we're gonna go for this f8, right? Oh. We're gonna get you off that background about right here. Let's take a look. All right. All right, so no flash, boom, black frame. This is not just a black frame. For those of you who are new to the black frame, this is your shadow density. Where there is no light, there is, oh my God, we just screamed, that will throw you all out of here. Where there is no light, there is shadow. Wow, amazing photographers, way to go. So if I don't have light, this is 3 stops till I start seeing her. I have 3 stops of shadow density before I add my light, which means the darkest shadow, the densest shadow I will get is 3 stops away from my key. What's a key light? This is not rhetorical. What's a key light? Oh my God.
Main light.
What'd you just say?
Main light.
Say that really loud.
Main light.
It is not the main light. Jen, I love you to death. Here's why it's not the main light, and here's why you probably hear it's always the main light, because it's usually only one they're using. You can have multiple key lights in a frame. So then how is it a main light? Your key light, and I want you to remember this, if you remember anything about my demos, and then you can like make other speakers hate me. The key light is the light that shapes our subject. Not main light, it is the light that has an actual function of shaping our subject. Whether it's soft, hard, specular, diffused, whether it's colored, I don't care what the properties of that light is, your key light is the shape. After that, fill light, shadow density. We set the pattern, fill light is the shadow density. Everything else is peripheral, background light, hair light, whatever garbage light they said to you in that textbook in the 70s, I don't care. Or that guy on YouTube, whatever. Okay, let me make some room here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fly this because I already had this in my head of where, because remember, intent, right? I'm not gonna throw a light out and go, meh. We're also got limited time. So I'm gonna float this over, and my goal here is to go opposite the way I did the first time when I showed her, which was very sculpted out with smaller lights and show you that look. I'm gonna go a little more open. What I wanna do is go black and white. Watch me not even do black and white. Watch my schizophrenia fly into my skull. And we're gonna eventually swap, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Why am I even talking? What is this? Who is this? Why do we not show? We keep on talking. How you doing, you all right? You want water or anything? No? Are you being weird?
I have any other settings?
You have plenty of settings other than weird. I don't want to hear it. I've seen it. There's endearing. I've seen endearing Kate. I've seen it. I've seen it. All right. I'm going to fly this over. Come on. Come on, Kate. I'm going to fly. So the one thing I wasn't sure of, I'll be honest, was whether I was going to do a grid. The reason I wasn't sure about the grid was two things. How open do I want this light to look versus how sculpted do I want this light to look? Your grid will add contrast. Contrast will add shape. So before I put a grid on there, I'm going to shoot without a grid. I know, it's crazy. You all right? Yeah, is that guy bothering you? It's all right, you could say it. Okay. I have limited space in here, but that's not going to stop us, right? Because we just need enough space to do the thing we're doing. When people cry about space, start thinking about what you could do with principles of light to exaggerate that space, okay? So, bada bing, bada boom. Look at you. So I want you guys to notice this is not over her head like a giant hair light, right? What we're doing, let me see if I can switch to this. You guys see that it's basically just in front of her, little pitch. What am I doing? I'm in a sense what some people call feathering. In this situation, it's a little bit more of a raking of the light, a little bit more cascading. Let's see what it does, right? I'm gonna go into TTL and get a base exposure and just see where we're working. Come to like right here. And yeah, that's good. And then I'm gonna pull this back to like here. You like how I move a C-stand while holding a complete camera kit? You like that? No, it's okay. No extra charge. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, so that's TTL. We're getting a lot of shape already. So my answer to, do I want to put a grid on this? Null and void. I'm already getting it from the angle and distance of this light. If I wanted to fill her more, I would not be so overhead, pivot, maybe move it a little closer. So what am I gonna do? Pivot, move a little closer, right? Because I do think we're getting a little bit of drama, but before I throw in a fill light to open up those shadows, I want to ease up on the shadow pattern first. Does that make sense to you guys? So I feel like the pattern isn't there, right? So, and it's all Kate's fault. I just want you to know that. That was half funny. I don't want to hear it. All right. So, okay. Any questions so far? We all right? Yeah. We're going to get moving pretty. Thank you. Thank you. You got to be from the Bronx.
I'm from the Lower East Side.
Lower East Side. You know who this is? This is the queen of emo of the Lower East Side. All right. Where am I? What camera am I on? 3. Okay, so this good for you guys? Let me know. All right, so we're going to TTL that again. Why? I moved the light. That's going to change the exposure drastically, right? All right, take a little tiny step back. Yeah, and then go this way. Yep, beautiful. Bada bing. Do you guys see the subtleties in the opening of the light? Do you see this? Look at the corner of her jaw here, corner of her jaw here. See we're breaking that light? Right away, I'm already mitigating for a fill light. Don't forget, Kate's gonna move a little bit, right? Chin up will change everything also. So, chin up a little bit? Yeah. Chin up like, yeah. Turn this way for me. Relax, what is this? What is hand holding stuff? Come on, girl, come on. Turn to me a little more. Yeah, that's it. Chin up slight. Beautiful. So we're never gonna get light under that chin. If you think about it, she has a lot of hair covering it. Am I gonna throw in a fill? No, because, oops, sorry guys. No, because I'm already gonna go with a white background. Why? So glad you asked. Because that's what I had in my head for a while. I never shot her commercial clean, and that's what I kind of want to go for, but it also gives me a lot of room here. Notice how we have a dark background here. if I want to go back to dark, I can do it in 2 seconds with these lights. So I'm not just making a decision to add a light, I'm making a decision to give me a walk back if I need it. There's still something that works. Does that make sense? If, let's say for argument's sake, I want to throw a fill in here. I'm just going to do it because I'm a masochist and I just don't know why I'm doing things anymore. I'm going to throw this light. Where are you guys? Okay. I'm going to throw a light into the floor. Why are you throwing a light into the floor? Man, you guys are great. Unbelievable. One, I got no room behind me to throw some sort of fill there. Had this been my studio, I probably would bang a light into the wall right behind me so it doesn't interrupt my pattern, but breaks open the shadow basically however I needed to with the powers I got, the power on the light I got. Here, I don't want to set up a box because if I start doing a white background, if I start banging light into this, this is a giant reflector. You know what else is a giant reflector? Everything you're throwing in front of your model. A 4-foot octa is a 4-foot white piece of space that will come back and start changing things. So I'm gonna do, it's also because I spent like a week with Joe McNally in London. He does this on every shoot. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna bang some stuff into the floor. I'm gonna open up another box. Everybody all right so far? So I'm gonna do this just to have it as an option, but just because a light is in play doesn't mean it has to stay on. It's at least in position if you want it there, right? That's a big deal. I'm gonna put this in group. I don't know, we'll do B, why not? And I tell you what I'm even gonna do, you're gonna hate this, and I hope you hate it, I hope you all hate this. I'm just gonna put it all into TTL and go for it, I don't care. Because we're just getting a sense of what we're looking at here. Had this been an actual setup for a client, I would have done testing before they even got there and figured this out. I wouldn't be like, Kate, you mind if I try a bunch of things out while before we get to the session, you're gonna pay me for it? No, it's not gonna happen, right? So I'm gonna put on group B. We're banging into neutral gray, so we should be okay. If this isn't, I'll throw a white board there. But if you're banging into wood floor, you're gonna get a warm fill, kids. You know? You guys all right? Would kill the photographer. Calm it down, you hormonal lunatics, okay? You need some money, this guy'll. Yeah. I take 10%. All right, so TTL, let's do it. What happened? Well, yeah, we TTL'd, but the actual flash itself, once it expelled, bounces off of that key. So I'm in quicksand already. I'm gonna get out of TTL. I'm gonna take that light, I'm gonna take 2.5 stops out of it. Look at me, chin down a little bit. Turn straight to me. Beautiful. Let's take a look. Something's not right. Let me see what the B light is doing. No, I think there's something. Is there something else firing? No, there's not. No. So let's take that out of TTL. I'm going to kill B just for a second. Also, all right, take a look. All right, so that's just the A light, not in TTL. And then this is the B light. Okay, now we're starting to get into that chin. Now I can just dial it in if I want. So I'm gonna put another stop in that light. You know what? I like that shape though. The shape's getting there. I'm gonna throw a board down just because I can. I'm literally getting into quicksand in front of you guys, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm already having a bad stream. Did you guys not catch the beginning of this? Okay, that looks clean, right? So we have our initial light, same pattern, same shape, but that density broke, right? So now we're seeing the points of her cheeks coming through. She looks amazing. Do you guys see? So, and we can dial this, right? Like if I wanted to, yeah. This might get dicey. I'm gonna push this light up a little higher. Why? It pulls down shape more. We're creating shadows. Think of it like sundials, right? So I'm gonna pull this octa up a little bit more. I'm gonna take this light, leave it the same. Let's take a look at our girl here. Yeah. Look at the density. Look at the feel, right? See how it looks the same pattern, but somehow the one on the right hits harder? You guys feel that? Oh, this looks dark compared to my screen. Huh. That. That looks a lot darker than my screen. Let me see really quickly if I am losing my mind. Picture mode, graphics, cinema. No, all right. So this is just a darker whatever. All right. I'll shoot it a little brighter just so you guys can see it, okay? Everybody with me so far? All right. So I'm going to put a little bit extra in this light. I'm not going to like it, but you guys can like it, you know? Beautiful. So we get that dark eye, but if you do a chin down, a little bit of a chin down. Boom, right? That fill isn't just filling, it's sucking you into those eyes while keeping them dark, keeping that mood, keeping that vibe. It's not a small light, so it's a full feeling light. It's not a 1-inch box, right? We got a question in the chat. All right, don't tell my model to smile ever. Don't tell women to smile ever, okay, guys? Let's start doing that, okay? Yes, I dress like a custodian, thank you. All right, is there a question in there somewhere? No? Okay. All right. So now the question is, we already got a shot that we like, but it's not the shot I was going after. What I can still do is keep developing the setup to get that white background I want. And then once I have that, before she shows up, I've got this look with the darker background, and I'll have a more commercial open look with the white background, putting that in there. And what can I do? Just shut off the backlights. Boom. 10 minutes, you've got almost 3 looks. If I want, look, if I really wanted to go like, hey, let's make you look like you have a Netflix documentary out about you from some shady times. Well, that's pretty done, right? And so you can easily talk about something cleaned up versus not, right? If you wanted that. But to me, the one I just shot on the right is someone that does not have sophisticated lighting. The one on the left, look at how much is going on there. We added the fill, but we're not really leaning on that fill, right? I'm spending a little too much time on the like anatomy of this shot rather than like what this demo is supposed to be about. I don't care if you guys don't care. Are we good? All right, let's do this white background thing. So I got these 1x4 strips. So convenient, right? They just showed up. I don't know what happened. It's just great. All right, I'm gonna throw them on here. Kate, you okay? Do you want water? You good? All right. Is Eric bothering you? All right. So I'm gonna point these. Oh, this stand is jacked up. Who used this last? Daniel Norton. All right. What I'm gonna do, let me see if I can get a camera angle for you guys. I think camera 5 is going to be camera 4. Oh, I'm totally blocking it, right, guys? Okay, so that's not gonna be that camera. Imagine this, okay? So 1x4 strip, you're gonna aim it for the far corner. 1x4 strip on the other one, other far corner. What you want is like a Venn diagram of light happening, okay? Sorry, guys. So that the center becomes the overlap for the exposure to be even. Not hotspot, hotspot. Over, over, so the hotspots are here, and where the inverse square dying off, they overlap each other. I'm gonna say this as clear as I can, and I have 6 million videos about this. There is infinite ways to do a white background with all types of gear configurations, space limitations, all sorts of stuff. So all you snobs that are going to come in my comments after this is live and tell me how you do white backgrounds, great. There's 4 million other ways to do white backgrounds and you're not special. Okay, now I'm gonna set up, you okay? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna set up another 1x4 strip. Fortunately, we live in the era of 2020, now it's like 2026, where I'm not sitting here fumbling with it, and I got a 1x4. What? What, this one? Oh, because I touched the lens. Now I'm in focus. I was probably better looking out of focus, but whatever. So we're gonna throw a 1x4 on this, right? So what do I have? I have light that vertically will cover. I'm not trying to light this entire background. That's not the shot. I don't care if I got edge to edge white, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm here to get a white background in the situation I'm in for the shot I'm going for. Okay? We're not setting up V-flats and putting, no, okay? But what I am doing is setting a light that I know later on I can go, here's what I can do with those lights. And you're gonna see after this shot, we're gonna wildly change everything, right? Technically, I already have a shot. It's not what I was going for, but I'll take it, whatever. All right, so here's how I do a white background. And I also know, Gavin, if you're watching, I know you're a fan of this method as well. I'm not gonna sit here metering. I'm not gonna do the whole, like, let me take a picture of 40 minutes trying to get to go. I'm gonna TTL a reading off of the back of Kate. What that's gonna do is give me an accurate exposure here so it can never be overexposed here. If I don't overexpose in front of Kate, I don't burn away flyaways. I don't get that weird hair look. I don't get that fogging that some of you guys might get. Because I think what a lot of people do is white background, let's crank it up to 11, Rob Reiner. But you are in control this whole time. We have a black frame. We control this setup. We control our light. So just understand how to control that light, right? So I'm going to shut off this light. Man, been a while since I've done one of these. I don't know. Everything all right so far? We're good? I'm doing great. So the first thing I'm actually gonna do is, I'm in the wrong menu. Look at that, Seth Miranda, everybody. All right, I'm gonna turn on my modeling lights because I can. I have that ability, so why not? I'm just looking at the spread of light just to get an idea of if I'm even in the pocket or anything. And I don't think I am. So I'm gonna pull them closer to Kate to get what? More spread. Farther away, the more they'll spread. I got plenty of power here, and we're going for a white background. We're gonna nail this background with light anyway. All right, let's take a look at what this looks like. So again, you don't wanna block the light, so you wanna get out of the way. You don't wanna shoot Kate's death metal black shirt that she wears all the time. We're gonna shoot her purple hair and get somewhere in the neutral, right? If you are doing this and you have someone's skin tone, probably your best bet. Gray suits, the best, which is like every accountant I have to shoot for LinkedIn. So I'm good, right? Let's take a quick TTL of the back of my girl here. Oh, not even in TTL. Not even close. That felt like TTL. I got a tan now, you see this? In fact, I bet you I was blocking the light too much because I should be able to see more of Kate. So I'm gonna do it one more time and not block the light like an idiot, okay? Let me just give it a little bit. Yeah. All right. So this idiot's blocking the light, so it doesn't make any sense, right? There. So we see more or less Kate's hair. Let's take a shot with just this light on and see how white of a background we got on a gray paper background, by the way, right? You doing all right? Yeah. I can already tell these lights are probably too high. They're gonna gradate as we go farther down Kate, but let's see what happens. That's a pretty white background, guys. Let's add in our key light. Now let's add in our fill light. And now I got that commercial type look with that feel I want for her with the key. And now we just do a few frames. Although I will say I am getting a little die off over here. And that is probably because of my spacing. All right. We could adjust for that if you guys really want to play cat and mouse games. I also think this is a little too high up. And I probably would have used a shorter feeling stand to be more of in height with her. All right. But this is live and things go haywire, as we've learned in the first 5 seconds of this demo. You guys with me though? You guys with me? Okay, all right. But think about it. What is this doing that I could easily flip into? I'm so glad you guys are on it. But let's take a few frames like this. Oh. We can go into that gray or we can give it that commercial white. Either way, we've got two looks really quick, right? Shut off those lights, bring them back on. If you want to change the color of that background, guess what? Instead of white, you guys are throwing gels on it. But you have those options, right? So I do want to see really quick if I do one of these. Meow, meow, meow. I'm going to back up, zoom in, and what that's going to do is compress that white background. And that compressing that white background will get rid of that gray fade happening because it's happening towards the edge. We're compressing that space, right? So I'm using the small space. Lens, we know what's going on. Longer the lens, more that background compresses, right? And we're getting this incredible human being here. Now, just for my own sanity here, if we go to black and white, I just want to see, yeah. I think with a different wardrobe that isn't such a blocky black, we probably could do something with the black and white. Do you guys mind if I abandon the black and white? Because guess what? If I don't like it, hey, it's 2026, so we can do this. Hey, right? The difference is though, when I shoot black and white, I shoot for that tone grade. And I shoot in real time for that tone grade because I'm looking for things. Information in my dark, information in my white, crisp, contrast lines, things like that. I do kind of like, let me take a look at you. Look at me. Beautiful like that. I gotta say, man, girl, come on, guys, come on. And this is without grading it. Don't forget, we're just doing black and white that is just taking the color out, right? If I sit there and she's got violet hair, that violet slider starts freaking, right? Magenta, little magenta, deeper, little deeper, bring out the skin. Well, the skin, let's talk about that red slider. Make her look a little bit more, you know, angry, which I think suits, you know. And that's with a quick grade. But you see how we just drastically changed that? And then she goes, well, actually, my agent said, great, here's your agent. Right? We have the untouched file. We're good. We just got what, four different looks we got going on here? White background, gray background, no fill, sculpted, dramatic, single light. I was gonna do 3. You're all paying me extra. Okay. So now you're gonna say, but Seth, you said something about those background lights. I know, you're gonna have to calm down. I put lights back here. I can put lights here. What does this do? Gives me that darker background because we know if we take away the white, it goes gray. But it also gives me a snap to her hair, right? And this is even the shot I'm gonna throw against the wall. The thing that I'm just trying out tonight in front of you. Not that this whole thing isn't me just trying stuff out, but whatever. This is probably a similar lighting that if you guys follow me or know my work, I typically go towards sculpting out rim lights and going a little crazy with it. But that's because I shoot mainly character work and I'm exaggerating and I'm making things surreal because the stuff I have to shoot for a living is usually pretty surreal. Zombies, aliens, creatures, injuries, something that's gleaming, snot, blood, sweat. How do I get that to gleam? I'm raking that light. I'm not following beauty protocols to mat it down. These lights are set to obliterate a gray background. So what do you think they're gonna do to poor old Kate here? Yeah, you're gonna get a tan. No, we're not gonna shoot at full power. Do you guys want me to shoot at full at the power it's at to see what it looks like? Do you guys want that? All right, let's do that. Only because you asked nice. So I'm not pointing them directly at her. I'm raking them across her a little bit, right? We want the edge of the light to just catch. And that's really the way you get texture out of hair. Not lighting the hair, creating the texture out of the hair is almost like we did with the key to shape her face. We're doing that with every light, okay? A lot of people do this like bang thing and it's like, cool, there's light there, but the hair feel isn't there. And if you shoot hair portfolios or salon stuff, they're gonna notice that kind of stuff. You guys good online? I'm sorry. Is it still burning the little hair, especially on the left shoulder? Well, if you look here, look at that. That's a clean extra hair, not random flyaway that's burned away and looks awkward, right? That, and over here, look at this. We don't nuclear, no nuclear, right? That's what really shows your elevated lighting. You're getting the white, but not murdering the detail. Your color's accurate. Your tones are there. Look, that's at a camera right in front of your faces, right? Did we guess? Kinda, but we knew where we were going with every move. If I do this, I said this will happen, didn't I? Did it happen? 8-ball corner pocket? Sure. Did I win the game yet? Not yet. We still got a whole other thing going on. The guy's hustling me, but I'm going to get out of it alive. All right? She's a hustler for sure. All right. What was I doing? Oh, right. The thing. Yeah. Sorry, kiddo. So you're going to notice that I'm moving them pretty close in, and that's because for my last shot that I'm throwing against the wall and praying, I know I'm going to need them close. We'll go over that in a minute. I don't want to ruin it. I'm going to shoot the light as it is, which I know is going to be overexposed because we were just pointing at a gray paper going white. I know her hair is good. This is not going to be cool. Also, light's coming at me. What else is that light going to touch? Not just my lens. The modifier causing a reflection, meaning my exposure overall will go up. Make sense? We're not changing the power of the light or my exposure. It's going to go one way or the other, right? So this is sort of a guess, but we're not doing that. I guarantee you I'm not going to keep this. As cool as you might think that looks, because somebody always does, like, oh my God, that's like, wow. Yeah, maybe, right? I'm not even gonna say no. But don't be a child slinging mud. Build a sandcastle, okay? Ooh. That's pretty good. Although there's mud and sand or two, whatever. Shut up. All right, I'm gonna take out about 4 stops of light. Why? Because I know what it looks like at full. This is as much as I can give it. I just want it to be there, okay? So, see how her hair is now coming up but not obliterated versus, right? Or versus, right? Is one right or wrong? No. Is this a style choice? Yes. Do you need a style? You've got to develop one. You need a point of view. You need a voice. You need people to know why your shots are what they are, because every word, every choice in your frame is a word in a sentence. I'm choosing to kick her hair because I want you to see her hair. However, I could argue that I made a decision a while ago to take out the distraction of her hair and get you to notice Kate. When I shot Kate for the Z52 video, I said, hey, everybody shoots you about the tattoos, the piercings, whatever. I'm trying to cut through all that noise and go right to Kate. And I feel I did that in those shots that I showed you in the beginning of this demo, right? That's my voice on it. However, if this was at my studio or something like that, I'd probably do more of a 3/4 body shot and do some black and white. And again, I think having a full-on black shirt causes a color block. So when you do go to black and white, it's tough, right? It's like, it's just a lot of black going on there, right? Like it doesn't hit, you know? So that's a style choice. But looking black and white in here, that makes a big difference when you start ripping that hair and making it sing. Because now it's not about the color, because if I showed you that image, you'd have no idea she has purple hair. But you'd have an idea of how voluminous and textured and alive it is. That's a choice. Now, if I did that same choice and I kill those lights, you're so serious. Big difference, right? Different vibe, different feel. We're making choices here. None of them are right or wrong. But what if I said, hey, Kate, come to my studio. In 5 minutes, I give you both those looks. And then 3 years later, when you dump that guy and you feel better, you like the one on the left more than the one on the right, you got both. But you get it? Don't forget the psychology of the people you're shooting with. They're gonna want more out of you, and it's not that hard to give them more. I could have said 5 minutes, lights on. 5 minutes, lights off. 5 minutes, white background. 5 minutes, no background. Bang, bang, bang. What are we, 6 shots deep? Forget about it, because now I'm going to do something that might not look good at all. But I don't care. Actually, that one on the right is kind of more what I was going for, to be honest with you. Let me get a few frames of this, and I'll move on, okay, guys? I just got to get this for her. All right, take a look at me. Bingo, bango. Straight, chin straight. Look at me. Beautiful. Stay like that. Chin down slight. Beautiful. And look straight through me, chin down, chin down, chin down. Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. She is now on Spotify, okay? How long did that take me? We were in the pocket. It doesn't matter. We didn't waste frames. We didn't waste shots. We didn't waste guesses. We said, light does this, If I do this, the light will do this. The key is to keep on trying light and understanding not just is the frame good, what happened in that frame, which is where your last shot comes in. I got her a billion looks. She's like, this guy's awesome. He's not as creepy as Craigslist said. Now, is that dated? I think that's kind of dated now, right? Reddit? Okay, we'll go Reddit. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, let's calm down. All right, so what I would say is we got safe frames. We got elevated frames, styled frames. So you got the safe shot, the styled shot. You could argue there's more ones in between, but they're there either way. Now I'm going to throw something against the wall. I'm going to throw something that's quick to throw in there, cheap to throw in there, easy to throw in there, and will freak something out. One of the things that you can easily throw into a situation and just try it out, and to be honest with you, you should all learn deeply, is gels. I'm not going to do gels because we always do gels because someone in the chat's always like, oh, do a gel. Shut up. I'm not going to do fog or smoke or the other things every freaking photographer's doing on Instagram. Let me guess, you have smoke bubbles and then there's some fog and then like, okay, well, you bought a thing. Beautiful. What is that doing for your subject? Anything, or is it feeding your ego of stuff you bought? I know I'm standing in a store, but I would rather you keep coming here and shooting than going, I bought the thing and now I don't use the thing and it looks like all the other stuff and I don't shoot anymore. What does that do for anyone? You got to chase your feel and your look. The hardest thing you're going to do in this industry or for yourself as a hobby is develop your point of view and your style and your voice. I am 25 years deep. I'm still trying to figure it out. Sometimes it's the way you talk to people, right? You talk differently to different people. You shoot differently for different tones. If I'm going after commercial campaign, I'm not showing them my alien autopsy. Do you get what I'm saying? So decide what you're really going after and morph yourself for it. But the first thing I'm going to do to get this moving is I'm not going to move these lights. I now got a pretty ripping crazy light now. Wait, I got two of those. So, no, stay. And because these pro photo boxes have the best clips I've ever seen, that's it. I leave it hanging, looks cool. People are like, oh, that guy knows what he's doing. What am I gonna do here? So glad you asked. First, I'm gonna see what these lights are doing. We're throwing something against the wall. I kind of know what it's gonna do, but we're gonna just do it anyway. I'm gonna shut off my key. I'm gonna shut off my, guys, I will make you scream. I'll walk out of here. I'm gonna shut off my key and I'm gonna shut off my fill, right? Key, fill, we got those background lights. I'm also stuck to something. Okay. So we're just gonna see what those lights are doing at the power they're set at. I got a feeling I'm gonna move them in tighter, but let's just take a shot to see what's going on here. Bada bing and boom. Nope, I shut off all the lights like an idiot. And there we go. Boom, boom. Let's take a look. Oh, I'm still in black and white. Why don't you guys catch that one? You know what? It's not as crazy as I thought. Actually, I could evolve this to be a little more. I'm gonna do a shot I had in my head and then we'll make this clean. I wanna make it filthy and not be a great shot. That's the whole point. I wanna do something a little off the wall. But if this works, I've got a second shot on a shoot with someone in the same feel, right? So I'm gonna move these closer to her. Why? Because I kind of want them in frame, but just outside the edge of the frame. Why? Because I want the light to do things that people don't normally want light to do, because it makes her feel special that I'm doing something weird, right? Okay, so let's take a look. Oh yeah, cool. Let's take a look. That's looking pretty good. Do I want to do? Okay. I'm gonna put on the fill and the key. We're gonna see what this feels like. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna make this look a little weirder because I can feel it in my bones. Okay, let's do it. Boom, bada bing. Oh, she's so alive. But wait. There's some dumb stuff I can keep in my bag that gives me a get out of jail free card if we want to do something stupid. No, I'm gonna put on this. Let me see if it works on this. Nope, there's no light in here. Okay, this is a streak filter. Streak filters have fiber optic in there. They go by millimeters of distance of the thread. This is 2 millimeter, it's a little less drastic. I have a 1 millimeter that will just murder scenes. Here's the cool thing. This is a blue streak. I have a warm streak. There's red streak that someone stole from me. And I have a clear streak that, in theory, whatever color light I put in there will become that streak. The cooler thing, and we're not going to do it tonight because I'm running out of time, if I do it into a colored light, the streak stays blue, the light stays the color. So you get like a layering, right? So let's do this. This is only going to work when light hits those fiber optics. What do I got going on here? Am I guessing? No, I know this is going to do the thing. Am I going to like it? I have no idea. And that's why it is my proverbial third shot. And then if it works, I can go, you know what? I shot a girl with face tattoos, a bunch of piercings, some really amazing eyes, and I wanted that like cyberpunk feel. Hey, you know what I did that one time in front of all those people when I had a really bad stream that was silent for 4 minutes? I'm sorry. I can't express to you how hard this is. All right. Oh, yeah. Chin down a little bit. So I'm going to show you what it looks like just by itself. And then you can spin it, right, to start giving you a different feel, right? So I want to put it right across your eyes. You know why? Because that's where people are going. And that's what you're expected to light. And that's what you're expected to connect with. Well, I'm going to rob you of it. Why? Because I'm from Brooklyn. No, that's good. We're going to chin down a little bit. Yeah, beautiful. Right there. Interesting. Right? What's the problem? It's baked in. If I don't like this, that's the shot. However, if you told me, and I have seen this because it's in my Comic-Con video, if you shot a bunch of cosplayers with blue streaks flying around on the spot, showing them this feel, this, what I would call a gimmick, honestly, they're in it. There's a vibe, there's a feel, it's baked in, you are committing, you have intent, you are doing this. Now, that's not a bad shot, Kate. How do you feel? Yeah,
Like
yeah, you would like it. You would like it. You would. Now I'm going to include the lights a little bit. And now we're given a bit of an environment that, am I in a store right now? If I throw this out there and I didn't tell you where it came from, do you know what I'm doing here? Do you know where this came from? Well, what if I did it vertically? And the streaks are subtle on the sides, framing. They're there. Because we know that when it's not, where are you? You see the difference? That's the same light. But now we have a drastic light on the edges and we're controlling the fog of it because I have literal bands in my lens right now. And this is the blue filter, right? It can get more drastically blue as you die down the light. There's clear filters that I'm a fan of, but they're hard to come by. And I will say this, it does feel anamorphic, yes. And you can get a warm tone one. Actually, I do have a warm tone one. You guys want to try the warm tone one? Of course you would. Of course you would. I don't even know where I was going with that sentiment, but well, it's fine. All right. So I got warm and I got clear. The clear is pretty drastic because the threads are so close together. You can almost not even see through this lens. Oh, what I was going to say is, what I would warn you about is not cheapening out on these filters. The minimum you're going to spend on a lens is a few $100. You're going to kill that with the glass in between those threads being junk. It's an investment, but what you can do is buy the largest size that you own and use step rings for $5 to adapt them to the rest of your lenses. And this, I don't care if you go to film, digital, whatever you shoot, it will stay with you forever because it's optics, right? What are we doing, warm or clear? Warm, raise your hands. All right. So this is literally what you would get with, like, if you were shooting like a cinematic sunset scene or like cars coming at you kind of a thing. Hey, there's a camera on the floor. Forget about it. Is this all helpful so far? All right. Take a look. Oh, whoa. Okay, this is drastic. Oh my gosh, okay. This is gonna look a little crazy, but it looks like exposed film, doesn't it? So now, let's see. Or she's an X-Men. You can keep on making up all the narratives you want, but you see that you're already making narratives? I got you connecting in a different way than they're connecting, the way that he's connecting. Either way, you're in my frame. In a world where we're flying past people's images in milliseconds, give them something to sink their eye into, bite their eye into, make up something, right? So I'm going to do just this. Chin down slight. Yeah, like that, beautiful. And now I can dial it. Dial it, right? I do think the rim lights are a little hot. I think they look better on there than they do here.
But you did that on purpose, don't forget.
You could do that on purpose, but I do want to get, it works in this frame because we're doing such a surreal, ethereal look. You know what I'm saying? Like I could make an argument for it. We already got those shots, right? Let's try it. I'm going to take 3 stops out. Okay, this is annoying. Oh my God.
Do you see the streak?
Interesting. Yeah, you see the streak in real time because the light, only because the modeling lights are on. There's light hitting my lens at the angle that they're going to hit. If I look into the store, only the point of source lights will do it. I'm going to try clear because the clear is bananas. Also, you can stack them. What will happen is if you stack them, you will stop having a sharp image. You will start causing light diffraction inside of layers of glass and all sorts of stuff. Is this a gimmick? Absolutely. Am I surviving a demo? You better believe it. But it's something you can throw in your bag that takes up no space. And if you're someone that's not used to shooting the way I shoot, which is a lot of weird stuff, it's an easy way to start getting a little weird. And then you evolve that. What's up? If you put step rings in between them, there's a gap.
Change the look from something like that.
So you wouldn't even have to do that. The reason you have to do step rings is your base would be the step ring, everything else will fit. It's the first thing that would go on your lens or the last thing. They wouldn't all have step rings.
But the distance would increase if you're putting a big one on a smaller.
Yeah. Oh, no. Very minimal. The distance wouldn't cause that much of a difference. It really wouldn't. But when you start stacking them, that's when starts going out the window. I mean, I've seen people stack them and it starts turning into Vaseline. And it's cool for certain things, but it's baked in. That's your shot. Do you have a protection filter on first or nothing? No protection filter. And side note, I buy really, really expensive UV filters and I smudge the edges of them. So I never smudge a lens and I get similar effects. But I make sure I have a high quality UV filter, which some YouTubers, I won't name all the names, will tell you you don't need them. I'm telling you there's reasons for everything. And sometimes it's reasons that you make up. And that's one reason I made up. So I use that a lot for frost effects without needing a fog machine or a smoke or anything like that. I just have a filter. And then you don't have to wait for the fog to dissipate or clear the room. I just take the filter off and I'm good. All right. In fact, I don't have it with me. I don't want to smudge these up because they're a real pain. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. You guys. I will say this though, there's so much, the camera's having a real tough time at the moment. But now we're bringing motion to the frame. When don't forget, the frame is just this. Look straight there. That's the frame. That's what we did, right? So we just blew through probably 8 looks. And I want you to realize, I didn't start going, well, let me go to his beauty dish. No, now I got to do this. Oh, let me get a Magnum. Oh, now it's a 4-foot octa. No, we didn't sit around and open up modifiers hoping it would save our lives. There was no get out of jail free card. We started somewhere, we committed. Every time we threw something in there, we thought about not only what it's doing now, but where it can go next. And is it something I'd even want? And yeah, those hair lights, well, now I jacked them up. Now they're surreal. Well, now that white background, I got that commercial. Want it black and white? We did it. We just blew through. I mean, I don't know you know what my plan to do here was, and I'm totally out of sync now. Mary, I can't tell you how rough this was. I had no audio for 4 minutes. It was a whole thing. This guy's talking trash to me. It's unbelievable. But like, if you look at it, I mean, we're just flying through looks here. We started here, by the way, just so you guys know, that's where we started. There's nothing in this frame that we didn't put there. We did this together, guys, together. Okay? Okay? But we refined our light, right? We refined it. We got her there, right? We started doing a really refined light. The shaper faces there, that fill, that kick, that suck in feel that you get to her eyes, because Kate's got these like crazy eyes. We gave her the commercial white background for her LinkedIn profile. She's like, I'm going to be an accountant now, you know? And then we decided, well, maybe we'll do some black and white. I don't know, maybe, although I did turn off the black and white, right? Then we said, let's do banana shot, right? We did the banana shot, then we refined the banana shot. So I gave her that crazy hair look if she wants it. I gave her the hair look that would make more sense that I think you should do, not the one on the left, right? We kept going with that. I did a quick like banger with her, got her that shot, which is a great one for like the menu on her website, and they can put all the stuff on the side and we're good, right? And then, oh man, I shot a bunch of frames, huh? And then we did this ethereal shot. We threw some streaks at it, right? Right? And then I just kept on throwing streaks at it to make you guys go, ooh, ah, oh. But that was 40 minutes while I'm talking, running a live stream with 4 minutes of dead space. I'm sorry. And we didn't guess. We didn't waste frames, really. If there was an issue, we made educated decisions. There was a look we were after, we made educated decisions. We threw something in there. We didn't let it be one note. Everything I put in my case has to have at least 3 use cases or it never makes it in there when I'm on the road. Same thing in my studio if I don't have a lot of space. If I put this light here, can I get out of this and get a second look? Can I get a third look? If Kate came to me and was like, well, I really want to be a dentist, but now I think I'm going to start an emo band. We got it in 3 seconds. If I spent 5 minutes per look on here, I'm less than an hour and she's got about 9 looks. That's evolving a portrait. That's starting with intent, chasing intent, then chasing what you can find out of what's going on there and not wasting time like, Kate, you mind taking a seat? I got to get my beauty dish. Oh, the grid. Shut up. Just shut up. Shoot. But don't just shoot wild, just like you wouldn't start talking gibberish to people around you. Everything you're doing is a language. All right? Look at what you're working with now and what else would be happening in that with that said kit. You know, light is predictable, and this is as much a feel as it is a science, and I stand by that. Okay, guys. Can I ask for a portrait? You're not going to get these photos anyway. What do you care if I do that? Do those act like and rotate filters? Yes, they do rotate, so you're really intentional with where those streaks go. You just don't have a choice of how many streaks because it's how much distance you have and how the light's hitting it. They're 2 millimeters apart normally. This one is 1 millimeter apart. So if you actually see, I don't even know what the colors are anymore. I'm trying to find it. You can actually see how close and far apart, did I do it? You can see how close and far apart those are from the clear to the warm. The warm is a cool one because like you could throw that in organic situations. The blue one is a bit more like cybernetic, you know, that icy cold, John Wickish, you know, kind of thing. So they're toys, they're gimmicks, but they can be tools and intentful. And, you know, you could pry open a can with a screwdriver or you could build something amazing with a screwdriver, right? So I just hope you guys look at your tools different. I hope you guys look at your kits different, your decisions different. And even if you're doing this with speed lights, what is that light doing? What can that light be doing? What am I doing? If I put this here, what else can I do? And sometimes it's as easy as just shutting off one of those lights. You're lighting a background, guess what? That background just changed. And that can change the mood of everything. Black background, white background, gray background, gelled backgrounds, completely different feel. And most times your client is gonna feel like the tone of a background as the entire portrait. Oh, that's a red background. Oh, it must be for Valentine's Day. Shut up. And it's like whatever, right? Yeah, if you guys hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. Sorry about the beginning of this. Any questions? I feel like I ran through a lot. I was gonna do 2 other shots, but I'm running out of time here. And I gotta set up for a podcast tomorrow morning. So any questions? Was this helpful to you guys?
I got a question, but
Yeah.
not sure what I'm asking her. Right? When you shot her from the back, I think you said you shot her from the back because you were trying to get the TTL right.
So I photographed Kate from the back for that shot to get the white background because I'm banging light into a piece of paper that's gonna reflect light anyway. If the exposure is perfect on the back of her, it's going to automatically be overexposed on that paper anyway because it's so far away from her. If it's hitting here, but we're getting exposure here, it's bouncing and has distance, it's already gonna be overexposed to make the exposure on the back of her. If the back of her is exposed properly, the front cannot be overexposed from that light because it's another few feet.
So when
2 feet, 1 foot.
When you came around,
1
though,
foot.
right, and you shot it from the front, and you turned these lights on, were you still in TTL? Wouldn't that like?
No, I locked these down. That exposure is set.
Okay. Cool.
right? So we did TTL based on the exposure I was already set for.
And then you got out of TTL when you came to take the actual shot.
I lock out of TTL so I have more leniency of like, I am psychotic. I will take out 2/10 of light to get it closer because this guy is over the shoot while I'm shooting it. Like I do not want to look at these frames again. I don't want to edit them. If you look at my Instagram, I put out 100 photos per set, like in a reel, because I'm over it. I'm done. That's what I shot. That's how I shot it. You're not going to see me throwing clone tools around. I like for people to look their best, but still show who they are. If they said to me like, oh, can we edit this thing out? Because it's like something temporary, like a zit or something like that. Maybe, fine, whatever. Half the time I give them the files and go, do whatever you want, just don't credit me. I just don't care. I'm on to the next. If you can't tell, always moving forward, all right? I am the grandson of Holocaust survivors, and that's the thing. Always move forward. That's what I was always taught. And guess what? This is what you get, all right? I don't know what to say. No, thank you guys so much. I want to thank Kate. Kate, you're fucking awesome. I hope I didn't just curse. Did I just curse? I'm sorry, guys. Don't hit subscribe, please. We want to grow this channel. At the time of recording this, we're almost at 50,000. I can't thank you guys enough. I didn't think we'd be this close this far at the end of the year. You guys, follow this channel. Adorama events on YouTube. You can watch this back and 2 years of classes. And also check out Eventbrite to stay up on when more events happen. I hope you guys just feel like you want to go shoot now, because it shouldn't be about what if, how do I go shoot. Put it down, see what's happening, understand what's happening, make your decisions. Okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna, oh, what's up, Ron? How you doing, man? Hope you're good. Sorry about the beginning of the stream. Man, that was a botch, huh? No mic. Who does that? I don't have any headphones on. What am I gonna do? Oh, now you show up? Come on, look at this. Guys bought and paid for with that Flashpoint hat. Look at this. Unbelievable. Last questions. Okay, what's today, Tuesday? Daniel's live Thursday. He's gonna be doing metering for Skid and Tones. I think you guys should really come for that one. If this was good for you, trust me, Daniel, a lot more coughing, but it'll be good. It'll be good. Always at 5. Always 5, always 5. Guys, I'm gonna sign off here and deal with all these people. In fact, I'm gonna, go ahead, guys, say goodbye to the people in the back. Say bye. Bye, guys.